bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ìlú tí ò bá ságbẹ̀ lè bí ọ̀gbàgbà fọwọ́ mẹ́kẹ́ tí máa ń bá wọn múlẹ̀ bí ẹ̀gbẹ́ iṣu. Show me a city without farmers and I will show you a land of farming. Nítorí àwa mọ̀ pàtàkì àwọn àgbẹ̀ láwùjọ la ṣe ṣàgbékalẹ̀ ikọ̀ Voice of the Farmers. Ohùn fún àwọn àgbẹ̀. Voice of the Farmers jẹ́ ikọ̀ tó ń dá sí ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn àgbẹ̀ jákèjádò nípa ìṣètò àwọn ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tó yè kooro lóòrèkóòrè lórí ìlànà à ń gbà ṣiṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ lọ́nà tí yóò fi pé ní ìgbélárugẹ àti àyẹ́sí àwọn àgbẹ̀. Education, celebration and promotion of farmers. Voice of the Farmers. Voice of the Farmers wà lórí àwọn ìtàkùn káyélujára bíi Facebook, Instagram àti Thread at Voice of the Farmers. Bẹ́ẹ̀ la tún wà lórí YouTube at.
Good afternoon, everyone listening to us out there. My name is Olumide. I am your host on this wonderful show that we call Meet the Farmers. So sorry we are coming a little bit late. It's just because of this technical issue that we have, and at least we have been able to fix the technical issue. You can see beside me, I have a wonderful guest. You can see even the dressing alone is something else. Like Ogaju. Yes, Ogaju. The dressing is very, very, very gorgeous. So my name is Olumide once again. I am your host on this show that we call Meet the Farmers. What do we do on Meet the Farmers? We meet different farmers from different sectors in the agri space. Let them come and share their experience, their success story, their challenges that they have, and how they have been able to overcome it. Because sometimes when you are encouraging youth to go into the agri sector and you don't let them know that there are some challenges in the agri sector, there are some business opportunities, how do you want them to go into it? And that is why we come up with our mother here. She's a poultry farmer. And you know, one thing about her that really attracted me to her is that she hardly have mortality on her poultry farm. I was like, because if I want to, one of the things that always scared me of going into a poultry farm is that I was thinking of mortality, because people say, mortality, all your birds can just die. And I was like, wow, how do we go about it? And she said she hardly have mortality on her poultry farm. So let us go and meet her. Let's ask about her name and how she even go into agriculture. Mommy, may we meet you, ma?
I am Mrs. BUKOLA SOGBESAN.
Okay.
I own a small poultry farm in a farm in Nigeria, Badagry.
Okay. You can see it's not just a small poultry farm. Don't mind now. It's not a small poultry farm, but at least not that big. But at least she's managing a poultry farm in Nigeria, Badagry. Ma, how do you know, we have different sectors in agriculture. We have different agricultural sector. Why do you decide to choose poultry?
Right from when I was small, I had always loved birds. I've always liked keeping birds. My great grandmother was the one that actually introduced me to poultry. She loves keeping birds. And when I was little, she would give me a hen and say, "You, Bukola, go and keep it, raise it, and nurture it." And I discovered that taking care of these local birds, I seem to love what I'm doing. So that was what formed my idea. Initially, I wanted to study medicine, but at the time, I developed this passion for livestock. So I put in for animal production and fisheries.
And that was how the journey started.
That was how the journey started. Okay. Even before I gained admission, I'd always been into farming.
Now, Ma, because we are not going to stay long on this interview, because I know you have a lot of places that you want to go to. So now, Ma, when you go into agriculture, how do you even start into poultry farming? Do you have one big money that you started with, or how do you everything just go?
No, like I told you, when I was young, shortly after, before I wrote my WAEC exam, I visited a friend of mine, and I saw her with some little chick. How did you get this? So there's a neighbor of theirs that sells it. So I followed her. Yeah. And to my surprise, I saw that this guy was he's not even learned, cannot speak English. And he said, and he's doing something wonderful. I saw the business, I saw the post. I said, wow, if somebody that is not learned can do this, then I can do something better. So I became his friend. We're friends. We will say, hey, since you are in school, you will take the academics aspect of it, and then I will do the technical aspect of it. So we kind of form an alliance.
Okay.
So anytime I'm back from school, even when I gain admission, when I come back from school, I'll say, you do it this way, you do it this way. This is the theory of it. So we were friends, and that was how the whole thing started. And at the time, I took a batch of broiler, 50 broilers to start with, at the back of my dad's house. So he was there to guide me, and I discovered that at the end of the day, we hardly had any mortality. So I said, wow. So this, and I was able to sell. It was during the festive period. I sold and I made a lot of money. And since then, I said, there's no going back. This is where I want to be.
Now, if you are just joining us on this live broadcast, we are live on Meet the Farmers, and we are with Mrs. BUKOLA SOGBESAN, a poultry farmer in Ajara here, Badagry, that is doing a great job here. Now, you can hear she said she's telling us a story on how she ventured into poultry farming. She don't just venture into it. She said she wanted to even study medicine before, but just because of the passion and how she was being brought up, that was what even grew her passion to go into agriculture. That is, and even poultry, not just agriculture alone, poultry farming now. Now, mommy, you said something that you even rear 50 boilers and you hardly have immortality. Now, looking at, I think I've been to your farm before, and I think that was one of the things you said again, that you don't always have mortality. How have you been able to do this, ma?
Now, I discovered that in my journey and in my few experience, especially while working with animal care, I discovered that being proactive is a key thing. And also, your biosecurity is a vital thing. Your animal might not be able to speak, but there are some symptoms, there are some things, signs that you notice that if you are proactive, might not result in mortality. So, and you act immediately. Once you are able to act, identify some of these signs and symptoms, you are able to act, you will discover that they will respond to treatment or whatever action you take, and then you will prevent mortality from just being observant and proactive.
Now, well, if I get you right, man, that means what you're saying is that you are always proactive and you observe your birds. Now,
Yes.
okay, if there's anything, probably you know this is what is happening, this is what is happening. Okay, because
Yes, that's why you cannot be a successful armchair poultry farmer. You cannot be not be around and then you just put your best and ask your attendants or your farm manager to oversee them. You have to be there yourself. It's because when you are there, the way you will see it as the owner of the place will be different from the way your aunts or your manager or whoever you are putting there will see it.
That is another one again, because now I learned something from that. You can't just be an armchair farmer and you think you want to get a good result from a poultry farmer. You must always be observant. Even if you have an attendant, like definitely you must always be on your farm to check, because this thing is your business.
Yes,
You
sir.
need to always put eye on it. Now, mommy, let me just divert a little bit. I think now everybody is crying out about this high increase of feed now. I know even the aquaculture sector, their one is even more bigger than anything. Now let's not even talk about the poultry aspect as well. They are also facing their own too as well. Mommy, how have we been able to like work around this when you're talking about the
it's
feed
not
aspect?
only in poultry, like you said, it's in aquaculture. Everybody now is aware of the price of maize, and it's really hitting us badly. And then because of the high cost of input, the cost of egg is also going up. But the only way we are trying to break even, if I can use that word, is you are being able to reduce cost of production, reduce wastages on your farm, minimize breakage, crack, then monitor some activities, because right now even the electricity is not stable.
It's not stable.
So you have to pump water with fuel, and we all know the cost of fuel is not friendly.
It's not friendly
So
at all.
you have to just minimize everything. Nobody will just run the tap, open the tap, and be wasting water. You understand? You just have to minimize. When you have broken feeders, fix it immediately to minimize the wastage of feed. Because the feed that is wasting on the floor, the birds cannot eat it again, and of course you cannot get your eggs from it. So in every way, even monitor your use sack, monitor the sales of your manure. These are some of the things that will add to your profits. But if you don't minimize cost of production, you will discover that you will barely be breaking even.
I think I learned a lesson from what you said. Now you need to always know how to minimize the cost of production. We are talking about the feed. Now you know some poultry farmers, if they want to feed their birds, they just pour. Even you see like 50% of the feeds on the ground, which is something else. Like now the cost of feed is very expensive. I think you need to look into that. Let's try and see how you can utilize and minimize the use of your feed, so that you feed according to how you're supposed to be. All those ones that you're putting on the ground, they can also feed on them. So I think I'm calling on everybody that is a poultry farmer, or let me say you are an intending poultry farmers. These things are not getting lower again. Let me say the cost of feed they are getting higher every day, at least with 20 naira, 30 naira, they are getting higher. So how do you want to afford wasting your feed? So please let us try and do that. When you want to, even the feeders as well, according to what you said, let's try and fix them when they are they are bad. So mommy, how have you been able to? Because I think was it not a few months ago we had what we call egg gluts. Yes, I think the one that was caused by Emefiele. Yes, I think Emefiele, the former CBN president. Then, yes, the policy that he brought about changing the naira notes, which really affected many people. I must tell you, some people died. Yes, you can't even dispute that. Some people died, and it affects many business. Even it's affecting some business to this moment. Some have folded up. So I think that one. Then when we are hearing about egg glut is just during this period that maybe children are on vacation. But we have had one before which really affected most poultry farmers. Now we are having another one. Now, how have you been able to work around that, man?
Thank you very much. Like I said, the last glut we had was the mother of it, because to me, I've never experienced such glut incident in my life, in my existence as a poultry farmer. That last one was really very, very, very bad. But there was a particular occasion, a customer asked me to bring eggs to Owode, very close to the border of Nigeria to the Republic of Benin. And I went, loaded the truck with eggs, only for me to get there after all the journey. And she looked at it. She asked me to do a video before leaving my farm. I did a video. She saw the sizes. I did everything she asked me to do. On getting there, she spoke with some of her friends, and the next day, all of them just shook their head. They are not buying. I felt like crying. I felt like sitting down there. But my husband just encouraged me. Better let us go home. It's getting late. They did not even buy one single crate. And on our way back, we ran into a ditch because it was raining heavily, and we lost some of the eggs. So I told somebody, and I was very depressed that night. I could hardly sleep. But in the morning, I told somebody, and somebody said, I discussed with somebody, they need some eggs for souvenir at a wedding. So that was how the idea came to me. Let's brand this thing. Let's package it in 6, like just the way I did during my mother's birthday, 80th birthday. So we did a souvenir then, and we put our sticker. With the sticker and the phone number, a lot of calls started coming in. People were calling, can you do this for us? Can you do this for us? Can you do this for us? So we started packaging some, requested for a package of 6, some package of 12. So we put the sticker, and then gradually, and another person called and said it was during the Ramadan period, the fasting period. And can you supply egg during the this Ramadan period? We usually use it for food to break their fast during the Ramadan season. So I agreed. And before you know it, the egg that was so voluminous, then people started asking for it. And this one was say, bring for the Ramadan. We are cooking this egg and indomie this evening. We are cooking spaghetti and indomie this evening. So let's have some crates of eggs. That was, in fact, I was even able to sell at a higher price than any other person during that time. So it was just God doing it, and I really thank Him for it. But at the same time, I knew some farmers that were really, really crying during that last egg glut. Farmers didn't have money, and it's not everybody that will collect, will accept transfer. We needed cash to even transport some of these products. Then, so a lot of eggs were on farms. I knew some farms that were burying their eggs. And some of us are on loan. So how do we pay this loan? So no, the government needs to really, really come to our aid when it comes to the issue of this egg glut. Every time it's something that comes periodically, and it's really hitting the industry badly. If something is not done quickly, we will lose this industry as a result of egg glut.
Thank you very much, Ma. I think I also learned something from what she said, because I think one of the things that made you to probably survive the egg glut is your marketing strategy now.
Yes.
But I think farmers should also try and imbibe this art, because if we are waiting that, okay, I want to be selling to my locality alone, just trust me, you will not sell enough. Because you need to look outside. Sometimes when you are thinking of selling to your locality, you may not make more sales.
Aside from branding, you also do delivery.
Exactly.
When you do delivery, the farmers pay.
Exactly.
Everybody wants something that is convenient. I can sit at my home and I can make orders, and this thing comes to me without me having to stress myself. So delivery is part of it. Branding and packaging. Once you package and give your product a very good packaging. Look at the aquaculture sector. When you package your fish, see that fillet, you know, do a good packaging. People accept it because we want a situation where you come back from your office, you are quick to do this, you quick to put some things together. Your food, the meal is ready. So you don't want a situation where when you give your egg a beautiful package, you can take it from here to maybe Republic of without even having a single crack. So those are some of the things that attract people to buying from you, and the way you present yourself too. It's a matter of it's very, very important, because if I don't buy you, I might not be able to buy your product.
So if I don't buy you, I might not be able to buy your product.
Yes.
I think that is one of the things that we need to take as a lesson on this program today. If I don't buy you, I will not be able to buy your product, because if you are not presentable to me, how will I buy your product? That is also it. So we are going to be rounding up the show, but before I round up the show, I want you to advise our youth. Now, before you advise our, you see, most of our youth, they see agriculture as a dirty job. And I do tell some of them that, you see, you can be a banker and you're a farmer. Do you even know you can be a government worker? The only job that government allow you to do while you are a civil servant is agriculture. Did you know that? You can be a farmer and you can be a civil servant. You can be a farmer and you can be a doctor. Do you know, when you're talking about zero hunger, you need to always think outside the box. Do you know there are many value chains in agriculture? We have the marketing, the processor, we have the producer as well. So you can always think of one. If you don't have land, yes, I don't have a land, but you can always be a marketer.
Even go to logistics.
You can go to logistics, get them input and all those things that they need.
Link them to. You can just be linking farmers to the.
Exactly. So please, I want moment to just advise the youth, because I know if you don't take the bull by the horn, then and you are looking for white collar job is not anywhere. We have been there. We have been looking for it for a while now. We are still where we are now. So what advice do you have for the youth?
The truth is that before I'm a civil servant. You know, I work with Lagos State Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries Department, because I also have a master's in fisheries. But the truth is that before I gained employment as a civil servant, I was into farming. Like I told you, I started it when I was young. So that you are a farmer does not mean that you cannot take any other employment. You can also marry with one or two things. See, our youth today, they are always they are looking for white collar job, wanting to work in oil companies, in this place, in banks, banking sector. I know a veterinary doctor that is a banker, and has a very big farm. He's striving one for that. Has well over 10,000 birds, and it's also a farmer. So we can do all of this together. But I will advise our youth, start small. Start small. As a young graduate, you can start with 100 beds, you can start with 200 beds, just at the back of your parents' house. If they own one, you can start. There's ways where you can control the odor, so you don't become a nuisance to your neighbor.
Exactly.
So start small. By the time you get 100 beds this year, I'm sure by next year you won't have 100. The next 2 years, we will not be talking about nothing less than 500 beds. And with 500 beds, I think you can live an average comfortable life. Then that does not stop you from also taking up a regular employment if it comes, rather than for you to sit down at home and be waiting for one job that is not coming. So I would advise our youth, if it is poultry farming, it is aquaculture, just go into it and start something. Don't wait for a white collar job that is not coming. And of course, you know that the idle mind is the devil's workshop.
Thank you very much, Ma. You have given a motherly advice to our youth, which I know some of them watching us out there will definitely listen to what you are saying, and they will definitely put it into action. Now, I want to just leave our youth with this word, with what Mommy said. He said, "If I cannot buy you, I cannot buy your product." I so much like that word. That means the way you present yourself, we even assist your product that you want to sell as well. Please, if you are thinking of going into poultry farming, you should know you need to always present yourself well. And at least when you're talking about branding, is very, very important. Branding. You don't just give me egg Like I can get egg that is more packaged in a supermarket, and you are giving me egg probably inside the nylon. But how do I want to buy that? So, and you said you are not making sales. Please, you need to look into all these things as a poultry farmers and as an intending farmers. So I'm leaving you with this word that you can always be in the agricultural sector, and you may not even own a farm.
Sorry, before you leave us, leave me there. I would like to say this. We need to please appeal to the government. We need the intervention of the government in this industry. If this industry must continue, the price of maize is really hitting farmers so badly. Not only in poultry, everything is in all livestock. So government needs to come to our aid. We need the intervention. Initially, there was a time the CBN was giving the palliative of maize. It cushioned the effect a little. But now we need the intervention. Government is too quiet on the issue of farmers. Right now, poultry farmers are almost dying. We are crying. So we need government to please intervene. If it is palliative in terms of maize, particularly maize and soya, please, we need government to intervene. We are crying out to the government. We need your help, please.
Now, thank you very much for even reminding me about that, because I want to talk about it before. You know, I think last week show that we had, we brought a farmer that is the maize farmer. He came to the show and he said one of the things they need is just more land to go into mass production of maize. I think government should look into this now. We need more space, more land, because we have youth that even want to venture into agriculture, but there is no space. They don't have that land. So as Mommy has said, please, we are calling on the government, please assist us on this issue of maize. Yes, it is very, very expensive, and they have even banned the importation of maize. They said they should not import maize, and we don't have enough. Please, we are calling on the government, please just come into our head, because this is one of the things that is very important when you're talking about poultry farming. Feed is very, very important. So please, we are calling on the government to please assist us. So we are going to be rounding up the show today because we don't want to waste much time. I know Mommy is going to come back different times again, many times, because it's just like a stakeholders in Voice of the Farmer as well. So we are saying a very big thank you to everyone that is following us on this social media platform. My name is Olumide once again. I am your host on Meet the Farmers, and this Meet the Farmer is a program on Voice of the Farmer. What do we do on Voice of the Farmer? We celebrate, we educate, and we promote farmers. That is what we do. And that part of what we do is educating our farmers, now educating our youth, and that is why we bring an existing poultry farmer that is doing a wonderful job when it comes to poultry farmers that hardly have mortality. I would say, I'm leaving you with this word today as a youth. Please start doing something. And if you are going to do anything, please let it be agriculture, because people can afford to walk naked on the street when war starts. When there is a war, they can afford to walk naked on the street. But when they cannot afford to live hunger, that is all, because there is no farmer, no food, and no food, no nation. Till I come your way next time, my name is Olumide once again. I am your host on this show called Meet the Farmers. See you next week.
Àgbẹ̀ ló láyé o, mo máa bá gbẹ̀ lọ o. Àgbẹ̀ ló láyé o, láyé fi gún. Àgbẹ̀ ló láyé o, láyé fi gún. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, ìlú tí ò bá ságbẹ̀ lébi ọ̀gbàgbà fọwọ́ mẹ́kẹ́ tí máa ń bá wọn múlẹ̀ bí ẹ̀gbẹ́ iṣu. Show me a city without farmers and I will show you a land of farming. Nítorí àwa mọ pàtàkì àwọn àgbẹ̀ láwùjọ, la ṣe ṣàgbékalẹ̀ ikọ̀ Voice of the Farmers. Ohùn fún àwọn àgbẹ̀. Voice of the Farmers jẹ́ ikọ̀ tó ń dá sí ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn àgbẹ̀ jákèjádò nípa ìṣètò àwọn ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tó yè kooro lóòrèkóòrè lórí ìlànà à ń gbà ṣiṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ lọ́nà tí yóò fi pé ni ìgbélárugẹ àti àyẹ́sí àwọn àgbẹ̀ education, celebration